So our next discussant is Mr. Alvin Joseph Arogo, who will provide insights for both presentations. So Mr. Alvin Joseph Arogo is the first Vice President and Chief Economist at Philippine National Bank, where he also heads the research division under the Office of the CFO. He leads economic forecasting and fundamental analysis of publicly listed firms. With over 21 years of experience in finance, he previously held senior roles at Credit Suisse Philippines and Philippine Equity Partners. He holds a master's in applied economics and dual undergraduate degrees from De La Salle University, Manila. So let us all welcome Mr. Arogo.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Ms. Melinda, for the introduction. Of course, thank you, Dr. Tuanyo, Dr. Rivera, for inviting me to be a part of this public webinar, and a privilege to be a fellow discussant with Dr. Tiangco. Siguro I'll start by saying that what a productive morning. I feel like I've earned a new degree sa economics. Mainly because of the insights provided by Dr. Rivera, as well as the additional takeaways, key questions that were provided by Dr. Tiangco. And really, I commend the PIDS for being true to its mission of being a leading think tank, and kind of restores my faith in the Philippine economy, because if you read the news, if you watch a lot of things, listen to people, there's a lot of negativity, and some of it naman are justified. But if you just listen to those things, mahirap maging optimistic about the future. But when you are in an event like this, you hear people acknowledge the problems, but create a forum that where people can talk, rationalize. It makes me feel good about our future. So the way I'll structure my reaction as a discussant would be just threefold. One is I want to comment on the methods, the philosophy that Dr. Rivera has outlined, because I think this is very useful. And in fact, if there's one key takeaway from this morning for everyone attending this, I think this is it. Second is, let me look at the forecasts, because I have my own, but it's not about which is correct, but it's about what are the underlying assumptions with those forecasts. And third is dabble a bit on the long-term questions. So time is short, so I'll try to be as concise as possible. First, I really like what Dr. Rivera said about avoiding guesswork and ideology, which I think is important for to have, which is I think is something that is important that we can learn from a public forum like this. Na sometimes pag tinatanong tayo, ano bang tingin mo sa future, 'di ba? Parang kanina merong survey, ano ba tingin natin this year, 'di ba? Slightly positive, negative ba, ganyan. I think a lot of it will go with what we feel, which is valid, Our feelings are important. But ang maganda dito sa ginagawa ng PIDS is, sabi nga ni Dr. JP, let's avoid guesswork and ideology. Let's put science, very data-driven. And in fact, if I can connect that, Dr. Tiangco, as I think part of her role sa Philippine Economic Society, hosted a very great seminar that I attended last year as well in person. Ang dami na naman na pag-usapan, all about using science, data, to put the conversations forward. So I think very important yun. Second, dito sa methodology, thank you, Dr. Rivera, i-quote kita. Sabi mo dito, the future is not predictable. Sa pag tinanong ako ng boss ko, bakit yung forecast mo off by 0.2 percentage points? So sabihin ko, sir, the future is not predictable according to PIDS. But seriously, ang ganda nito, kasi I was working before in a private company, and merong dong former executive from a big oil company, and sabi niya, we cannot forecast oil. So, balikan natin to. They are a big oil company. They cannot forecast oil. Diba? So meaning there are a lot of variables there, no? Especially yung mga pricing, no? It's about buyers and sellers in an open market. You really cannot have a point estimate, di ba? Tawag nga nila. So dapat range estimate siya. So ang ganda nung chart ni Dr. JP, no, about showing na yung future is not predetermined, but there are several outcomes na pwedeng mangyari. And ang tawag nga nila doon sa business is scenario planning, no? So I really like that, no? And very practical na for my own job. So those are the two key takeaways, no, that I hope students attending this, no, will take. Second is the forecast, no. I forecast the following as well: GDP growth, inflation, policy rate, exchange rate. No? And 2026 would be sort of like the COVID year, no? Not in the sense na there will be a crisis, but it is more difficult to forecast what the number is. And for my own forecast, ang belief, I have a number, but I don't want to say it in a public forum, medyo mababa. But I think 2026, the growth would be slower than 2025. No? I have two key assumptions there. I'm not sure if they're correct, but I think yun yung pwede nating bantayan, and that's something that we can debate, no? But sa akin, dalawa yung key assumptions. Number one is, when will the public construction recover? No? So we have seen it drop. I think, let me just get my notes, no? 26% year on year, I think, no, in the third quarter of last year, if I'm not mistaken. Question is, when will it start to post return to year-on-year growth? No? Now, sabi nga, the future is not predictable, but from my end, I just look at the previous episode of merong anti-corruption drive. No? And if we can all remember, this happened in 2010. No? Yung part of the campaign ni then President Aquino was yung Daang Matuwid, and his administration started third quarter of 2010, and as a result, no, we have seen the same amount of decline, no, in the not same amount, but ballpark, the magnitude is the same, no, in yung decline sa public construction. And during that period, it took 5 quarters before public construction started to recover again. Syempre, 'di ba, kapag mayroong mga inquiries, 'di ba, mas babagal, no? Mas babagal i-implement. The budget might be there, the intention might be there, but extra careful, no? Parang sa kumpanya lang 'yan, 'di ba? Pag na-audit ka, 'di ba? Dati pumapasok ka 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 'di ba? Pag nasita ka ng boss mo, papasok ka na ulit ng 8 o'clock, 'di ba? So parang ganun tayo ngayon, no? Question is, until when will this last? Previously, it took 5 quarters, no? So, given the lack of any, for me, additional indicator of how long it could be, that's my starting point. So, ang assumption ko is this whole thing, we felt it happened third quarter of last year. So, kung 5 quarters, mga later this year pa bago mag-recover. So, it's not ideology, sort of guesswork, but my assumption is it will take that long before we recover. So for me, ang recovery of our growth will happen 2026. So actually, yung economic forecast ko, compared to Dr. JP, mas mataas sa 2026, pero mas mababa sa 2025. No? But I think at the end of 2026, the amount of our GDP in real terms, peso, baka halos pareho lang yan. So I guess the question is, how do we get there, no? 2026 mas mababa. Wala siyang 2027, but I guess mas mataas sa akin sa 2027, no? Because ang tingin ko, bababa tayo this year, tataas tayo next year. Okay. Second is inflation, no? I think again, this is another thing, no, na pag-uusapan natin, but for me 2.2%, yeah, pwede, but ako mas mataas ng konti, but still within the 2 to 4% band of the government to. I think mainly because arithmetically, inflation is computed year on year. And because rice prices dropped last year, even if rice prices just remain the same, no, arithmetically, the low base would create, slightly higher inflation, but temporary lang. Second is yung mga utility rate adjustments, yung mga adjustments sa minimum wages. I think a lot of it would be felt 2026. Oil is a big question mark, no? What happened in Venezuela, debatable. Some are saying it's disrupting again the geopolitics. Some are saying na it will actually improve supply, no? Because the US is now effectively the one, I'll be careful with my words, influencing, no? How that whole oil reserves in Venezuela will look like, no? So yun yung debate. So if oil rises or just slightly, then we might have high inflation in 2020, higher inflation, but still within the band, no? Policy rate, I agree, there would be cuts, no? Dr. JP is 4%. Ako is 4.25 for now, but let's see, 4% is not too much. No? Exchange rate, I agree, no? There would be some appreciation this year. And mainly because actually medyo nag-decouple, no, yung exchange rate natin with our current account. I think because of this whole domestic uncertainties, no, and yung slowdown then in foreign direct investments, but I think those will be digested by the market soon enough. And we should be slightly appreciation, but definitely we will not go to 55 or below. So those are my comments with the forecast. Again, it's not about who's right, who's wrong. It's about what assumptions, no, are we using. Finally, let me tackle or at least address lang the long-term questions. No? Ang dami. I really like yung mga sinabi ni Dr. JP. We are consuming our way forward but not investing enough. So true, no? It can work. For example, 2025, yung mga economies, countries that were not attractive to investors, yung mga manufacturing because of the tariff. But during COVID years, we can see, no, how a consumption centric economy is vulnerable to shocks, no? So on the balance, definitely agree, not sustainable, no? I also agree that job quantity has improved faster than job quality. That's why I think even if the headline unemployment numbers are lower than pre-pandemic, you look around, you don't feel it, no? I also agree here. I love this, no? Money may be unlimited, but effective governance is not. Tamang-tama yan. Even if your credit cost is zero, if hindi ka naman confident na makakabayad ka because yung business environment is shaky, then there's no use in reducing rates, no? So reduction in rates is part of how you stimulate the economy, but confidence is very important. So let me end with this. We have to be skilled, future-ready workforce. So I think, or my suggestion is, future studies should focus really on artificial intelligence, no? For now, alam ko nakakasawa na yan, like a buzzword, no? AI. The first time I heard it, sabi ko, fad lang yan, no? It's like any other thing na pupunta mawawala. Hindi pala. So let me share with you, no? So like me sa private sector, because of artificial intelligence, the mandate now is doing more for less, no? So ako, focus on me. I accepted a higher mandate this year, no? Meaning mas marami akong trabaho without additional personnel. Why? Because I was promised that all the AI tools I need will be given. And as early as last year, together with my team, we have been testing AI, no? And what I realized is AI is like a very affordable fresh graduate, diba? Magkano ba yung mga, ayoko mag-advertise, no? But now you can get, of course, AI for free. But a basic upgrade can cost you about 300 pesos sometimes or 1,000 pesos. Yung very advanced, 10,000 pesos per month, no? And if I'm not mistaken, 10,000 pesos per month, that's below minimum wage. Diba? So just imagine, diba? You have a virtual assistant who is like, eager to learn, eager to help you, walang reklamo, doesn't sleep, and it's more affordable than a minimum wage. So imagine that. Imagine that, no? And to me, it's not the state of AI now. It's the progress, no? So 2 years ago, the first time it happened, I asked AI to create an economic forecast. Sagot niya sa akin, sorry, I don't do that. Now, it can give an economic forecast. Not necessarily correct, sometimes not robust, but it is attempting to do it. No? So imagine, again, a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. And may ripple effect yan, no? Our economy dependent on business process outsourcing, on remittances. No? So we have to be future ready. So I implore, not I implore, too strong of a word. I suggest to the PIDS to look into those things, to schools, no? To schools. My wife is a professor, and biggest challenge siya, no? Use of AI sa school. So we have to change how we educate and test the intelligence of people. No? So my time is up, but yun lang, no? To me, great study, but skilled, future-ready workforce, that's the biggest concern. And AI, not a buzzword, something we have to take seriously. Thank you.